Hello everyone and welcome back to the SW Bricks and Figs channel. My name is SW and this is my mock review series that I do around about every other week here on the channel. I know it's been a little bit of time since I've done one of these, but we are back. I'm going to try and keep this as consistent as possible. If you haven't watched one of these episodes before, this mock review series is broken into 3 sections. The first section is where I break down the best mocks that I've found here on the internet. The second section is where I go over some of the best mock building series that I find on YouTube. And the third section is where you guys send your mocks into me for me to review and show off on the channel. Of course, every single link to every single builder will be in the description down below, sorted by section in which they appear, so make sure to go check them out and support every single builder that is featured in today's episode, guys. But without further ado, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you do enjoy, leave a like as well, and tell me in the comments which is your favorite mock that is featured. And of course, if you want to be featured in the next episode, make sure to send me a DM on Instagram with photos of your Lego Star Wars creation. But let's get straight into section 1 of the mock review, and I'm bringing you a pretty strong one to start with. We have a Tython mock by Kev Fett 2011. I really love the way this mock is built with that huge slope going up as you get higher up on the left hand side. I think this looks really good, all encased in the black border, and the actual terrain details are really well done. Of course, it's kind of like a display for that giant Razor Crest, which is actually the design by Rich Boy J. I believe this builder has actually tweaked it a little bit and changed it up and made it his own a little bit, but it really does do the Razor Crest justice. I think it looks incredible, no matter whether it's the adaptive version or whether it is just purely Rich Boy J's version. It is amazing, and I really love the way it looks. I love the way you can see Mando coming down on that little ramp at the bottom. I think that looks really cool, and then you can just see the terrain that is just built up is really nicely done. I absolutely love the way he did all of his rocks. You can see at the top Fennec is hiding behind this giant rock, but every single rock across the whole mock is really done well. I think he's added some really cool slope designs and used loads of snot and that sort of thing really well, and I really think this is a fantastic build. Obviously, he's showcasing some of the brand new figs that have just come out, such as the Boba Fett, the Fennec, of course, and the Mortar Trooper. I think this is a really good touch. I think these figs came out at the perfect time for him, obviously. But yeah, again, this is a really big mock. I really love the size of it, and just the sort of denseness of the ground and the slope makes it look really good and fit the scene perfectly for what it is encapsulating. Okay, but moving to the next mock on the list, you guys have probably heard of this guy, but this is Star Marks. He built this awesome Takodana mock. I definitely want to say, if you haven't already checked out Star Marks, he's one of the best upcoming builders. He's really awesome, and his time lapses and stuff are really cool, and he just has some incredible techniques. And this mock definitely is a great showcase for that. You can see a load of different techniques he's used. I really enjoyed his time lapse build of this one. He's definitely sort of like a similar builder to First Order Lego, where he goes through and builds everything up from scratch in the whole video, and it's really awesome. But I love the techniques with all the different colors of the ground. I think this represents Takodana well. Obviously, I'm not a big sequel fan, however I think this is a really cool mock nonetheless. I really love that massive cannon off to the left. I think that looks really good, and the pipe I think is a really cool technique. I've never seen anyone really do that just like that, sort of sunken into the ground like that. I think that looks phenomenal, as well as just all the different details and techniques he has from the floor to the roof. I think look amazing, especially that little radar dish on top and some other details across the whole of the build. The next mock up on the list is simply titled Rebellion by Oblivion Builder. Now this is awesome. I love how he's mixed in the medium nougat with the dark tan. I think this is a really nice touch. Obviously, we do see a lot of people using the medium nougat on Geonosis mocks with the dark orange and stuff like that, but I think it's a really good accent color in this mock as well. I think this is really nice, as well as a little bit of splash of color in some of those plants. I think the technique for the ground is really well done. I think he's used the net technique under the ground in some areas to get a really nice sort of shape to the ground and more natural look to it. Then as we go up, we obviously have the entrance to the base, which looks amazing. I love the way those doors are sort of half open and you can see the black behind it, which adds a lot of depth. Then as we move up, we have that cool 16 logo in there made using snot, and then we have, of course, the really big drawing point is this sort of area that's holding up a platform above. I think this is done really well, and I think this is definitely something a lot more people are doing now with those huge pieces right there. I think those are really underrated pieces. Then if we look at the actual wall itself, I think this is something I need to start incorporating a lot more, is that sort of snot technique to make a flat wall. I think this looks really good, and it sort of really takes the ground and sort of repeats it again going up the wall and makes it a really consistent build. Then if we look on top, we have some rebels. These guys are really awesomely clad in some cool armor and stuff like that, and then there's a little platform on top as well. And overall, I think this is a really fantastic mock. He said it only took him 3 days to build, which is pretty impressive. I mainly overall love the sort of terrain details. I think that's really nice. The color scheme, and then also that entrance is really cool as well. But yeah, really good mock. But let's head into the next one. Okay, so up next is KG Bricks with this awesome Imperial outpost. I think the foliage is done really well. It looks sort of like Endor. I don't know what planet this is actually set on. I don't think he specified it, but I think it looks really, really good nonetheless. Some of the techniques to get that curve in the building is phenomenal. I really love the way that's done, and you don't really see that sort of thing too often, and it really does add a lot to the MOC instead of just being a flat and straight sort of building. I think that's really, really awesome. I love the way he's done the snot walls. Again, this is a similar technique to what I talked about in the last MOC, where you have snot to make up the walls rather than bricks or anything like that. I think this looks really, really good, and definitely something I want to do more in the future. A load of lights are incorporated in this MOC, not just in that sort of entrance area, but also in the wall with those like Imperial kind of lights that we see on Star Destroyers and that sort of thing. I really love the actual freeform MOC side to it, and I think this looks really, really good, and sort of like all the foliage sort of shrunken down into the actual ground looks awesome. I love the trees using those flexi tubes, as well as the snot design on the floor, and just this MOC in general looks so clean. I love the way it looks, and I think it's phenomenal. So huge shout out to KG Bricks. But that brings us to section 2, which is the best MOCs that are currently being built out there on YouTube right now in the form of a YouTube build series. The first one up on the list is a very underrated one by Tony Hardy 1999, which now this is a cancelled game that was set on Coruscant called 1313. I think this is what it's based on, but he has a load of scenes varying from pretty much everything you see on Coruscant. I love the way this is coming together. He's been building this for a long time now, and it's absolutely huge. I love the way this looks, and it's definitely an underrated series that you guys should check out. Next up on the list is a builder that we featured before, but a good friend of mine that I haven't actually featured this series for, I believe, and that is Keto Neomoidia. This looks amazing. I love the way he's built up the 2 rock walls on either side, and then he's going to have like the clouds in the middle with the city hanging over the top, and I think this is a really, really sick MOC. Definitely something very, very unique, and something you need to check out. Of course, if you don't already know who Coconut is, make sure to go subscribe to him as well. Okay, so we now move on to the third and final section of MOC review, which is where I go over some of the MOCs that you guys have sent in to me via Instagram. Once again, if you want to send me your MOCs, make sure to just message me. The link will be down below in the description and the top of the comments. But basically, any MOC you have, no matter how big or small it is, make sure to just send it in and I can review it in these third and final parts of the MOC review series. So first up, we have a really awesome MOC from a great guy named Clone Addict. Now, I know this guy on Instagram relatively well. He has one of the best custom clone armies in the world. It's really inspiring to me, but he built this really awesome 327th outpost right here, and you can see it has the M5 builds gunship up on that landing pad, a couple buildings off to the right, and then loads of other stuff scattered around. I think this looks really, really good. Lovely work on the terrain, as well as just featuring so many awesome clone troopers. Once again, definitely go check him out. His clones are unbelievable. They're pretty much unrivaled. I've never seen anyone with such a good clone army, so make sure you go check him out. But that moves us on to the second MOC right now, which is from Shockwave Bricks. Now this is a really clean and cool MOC. He's done some really awesome ones as well, but he sent me this one. I think this looks really, really good. I love that sort of dead Jedi on the bottom right. I think that looks great with that sort of platform just hovering slightly above it. I think that looks really nice. The use of colors and just the slight accents of yellow and red and stuff like that and blue look really, really good in the corners and stuff like that. But I love the clone that's being pressed up against the wall. I think that looks really good. That's definitely well done. The ramp technique is really nice, as well as the doorway over to the left is awesome as well. Next up, we have an awesome MOC from Ben Bricks. So this is Fortin Axis. You can see it's kind of reminiscent of the Brick was his Fortin Axis, but it's definitely a compliment to Ben, if anything. It looks really, really good. It's got a few different buildings off to the left, another building on the right with the Babat shuttle hovering over the top of it, a speeder running out the front, and just loads of cool clone troopers marching around in the middle. I think this is a really cool MOC, and it definitely does Fortin Axis justice. Next up, we have Florence, and he sent me this awesome MOC. You can see the lava is done really well in this MOC. I love how it sort of flows from the red on the outside all the way into the yellow in the middle, just as if it's sort of getting hotter as you go into the middle of the lava. I think this looks amazing. There's so many clone troopers in this MOC, it's unbelievable. You can see these are actually stormtroopers up close next to us here, but yeah, next to that fighter tank going across this awesome bridge that he's made. I think that looks really, really good. He also sent me this other one, which is more of a 327th on I believe Felucia or something like that, but I'm not sure if this is actually connected to the other MOC, but still looks pretty good nonetheless. The next mock on the list was actually made by Shockwave Bricks, and this is a really cool smaller mock, but I think it looks really awesome. Really cool tree design on top there with a few different hinges and stuff that look really good. Next up we have Official Dan, who sent me this awesome Kala mock. I believe this is the first scene in the Bad Batch, the Order 66 scene, right before the Jedi's are executed. You can see Grey up there at the top, and then a couple of awesome clone troopers surrounding him as well, which is really, really awesome. Then Steve sent me this awesome Dagobah mock. You can see it's got Luke Skywalker. I love that custom minifig he made. And then it's got some really cool details. I love the trees, I love the terrain details, and the water as well, look amazing. And then he built this awesome big sort of creature in the background, which I think looks fantastic as well. And the final two mocks that I'm featuring this week in mock review is this tiny little freeform mock by Nate. This is a really well done mock. I really like this freeform design you've got on the border. I think that looks amazing. And then finally we have this giant Mandalorian mock. This is really, really awesome. I love the lights in the walls, as well as the sort of face off on the top, as well as the underground area with all these giant windows which look very Mandalore-esque, and then loads of other details on the floor and the clones rushing through to ambush the Maul Mandos. I think this looks really, really good, and it's a fantastic one to end the video off right there, guys. But thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you did enjoy this week's episode of mock review. Once again, I'm going to try and make this series more consistent. I've been really, really busy, as well as being quite ill recently, so I'm finally back and I'm ready to go with this mock review series again. I really do enjoy making these, so of course if you want your mock featured, make sure to message me on Instagram and send me some photos over there of your mocks that you've been creating. I did actually get more entries this week than this, but I could only fit in this many entries this week. However, in the next episode, anyone who's already sent me mocks will be featured in that one, as well as anyone who sends me mocks from this week as well. So thank you guys so much for watching this week's episode. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like if you did enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.